notice this lady come up to the doors, pull on them, and they're locked. You see debris beginning to fly, and seconds later, what looks like a big explosion. Kyra Johnson is that woman. She had just made her FedEx deliveries to Sagonas from the back door. She came out and looked up.
I had never seen the sky swirl so pretty, and it was gray, but it was scary. So first thing you think, let me tape it, I want to show people.
This is the video she recorded. You can clearly see the tornado, but Johnson says she was so tunnel visioned that she never noticed it. Exactly 2 minutes later, it was right over her.
I just braced myself right here between the Coke machine. It wasn't even a holding on. It was just to brace myself.
That Coke machine fell over, and there really are no words to put to this video. How did she survive?
God. There's no explaining that, God, because after I seen the video, I didn't know what it really looked like. I just figured I was in a tornado. And
Sagona did not know Johnson prior to this. Now he says God truly had her in his hands.
I got this made for you.
God had us in his hands the whole time.
Creating a bond they will never forget.
Oh.
A neighbor of the family had opened the girl's coffin to adjust the body when he noticed a slight movement of her head. The girl was apparently pronounced dead 2 days earlier. Video footage posted online shows the ceremony erupting in chaos as a man and woman, identified by the Philippine Star as the girl's parents, pick her up out of the casket and wrap her in blankets. Parents said the girl had, quote, severe fever for days, so they took her to a medical clinic on Friday, where she was pronounced dead early the next morning. After the funeral incident, the little girl was doing well enough to go home after some tests were done.
Happened in Holmes County at a funeral home in Lexington. 16 WAPT's Tammy Estwick explains how family members say he came back to life.
The story is spreading like wildfire, how Walter Williams woke up from the dead in Holmes County.
I asked the coroner what happened. He said, they can call it a miracle.
I stood there and watched them put him in a body bag and zipped it up.
The coroner says he checked the pulse around 9 o'clock Wednesday night and pronounced Williams dead at his home in Lexington with no heartbeat.
That was 10:30, and at 2:30 my cousin called me and said, not yet. I said, what you mean not yet? He said, Dad is still here.
After the coroner helped move Williams to Porter & Sons Funeral Home, workers were getting ready to embalm him. But that's when he started to move.
He was not dead, long story short.
Byron Porter says it's the first time he's ever seen anything like it. A man inside a body bag, kicking to get out.
So he missed it by how much?
I don't know.
A couple of minutes, maybe?
No, more than that, maybe. But we definitely was not going to do anything to him. And
once you saw that he was
right,
alive.
that he was not deceased. Right.
Paramedics rushed Williams to the hospital, where tonight family members say they're happy he's alive.
Now, I don't know how long he's going to be here, but I know he's back right now, and that's all what counts.
In Lexington, Tammy Estwick, 16.
Sam, stay strong and fight hard.
An incredible story. Family and friends calling it a miracle. A 21-year-old U of A student wakes up from a coma after doctors nearly declared him brain dead. ABC 15's Susan Casper talked with the survivor and shows us his long road to recovery.
You're looking at a picture of 21-year-old Sam Schmid with injuries so bad, doctors nearly considered him brain dead.
I said, Sam, stay strong and fight hard.
Sam's mom, Susan, stood by his side after a 5-car collision in Tucson caused a brain aneurysm back in October.
We really gave him a very, very minimal chance for survival.
Sam was flown to Barrow Neurological, where Dr. Robert Spetzler tried to keep Sam alive. But after a week in a coma, there was talk of taking him off life support, and discussions about organ donation were underway.
In medicine, we see things that always the exception to the rule, and fortunately he was one.
After nearly 2 weeks in a coma, Sam miraculously woke up.
I've been called a miracle a few times, and it always makes me feel better.
He has trouble forming sentences and needs help while walking, but is making big strides towards recovery.
It was a miracle.
Except for the rehabilitation I still have to do. Feeling pretty good.
Doctors tell us he has a long way to go, but that won't stop Sam, who already is looking to life after the hospital.
Stuff in my bedroom would be nice, but the school or work would also be something I'm looking forward to.
Perhaps it's perfect timing. Sam gets a one-day pass to leave Barrow and spend Christmas with his family. They tell us calling that a miracle doesn't seem to do it justice. In Phoenix, Susan Casper, ABC 15 News.
This next story is something a Dayton area doctor says he has never seen, and the man's family gives all the credit to God. Tony Yali was suffering from irregular breathing at home. His family did CPR and eventually took him to the hospital. Doctors say Yali coded for 45 minutes. A team of medical personnel tried to stimulate his heart, but no luck. A doctor declared Yali dead the afternoon of August 5th. Then, suddenly, as nurses were ready to let the family view his body, Yali showed signs of life.
Then everybody started telling me how it happened, and that's when I started to understand, a miracle happened.
I pointed at him and I said, "Dad, you're not going to die today." And I stood there for about a few more seconds, and I was about to walk back to, comfort the family.
And that's when Tony Yali's heart started beating. His cardiologist says this is beyond rare.
But in the last 20 years, I've never seen anybody who we have pronounced dead. And actually, the patient we saw, there was no activity when we stopped doing all our efforts. And then for him to come back, I've never seen it. Actually, I've never heard of it.
It's been the topic of discussion in medical circles, but Tony Yali says there was only one factor at work.
It definitely strengthened my faith, my family's faith, everybody I know's faith. And like I've said, if it strengthened everybody's faith, I'll take the lumps for it,
Yali was unconscious for 5 days, but doctors sent him home from the hospital last Thursday. Says he feels just fine.
Wow. What a profound experience.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is
Wouldn't you like
amazing.
to talk to that man,
Yes.
just in general, just
Yes.
sit at a table and find out his thoughts about this? That'd be rather interesting.
Life-changing for him, maybe for you.
Dramatic video of a tornado hitting this hardware store in Louisiana last week. A FedEx driver tried to take shelter inside. The door was locked, so she hid behind a soda machine. It fell over. Look at that. My goodness, when the tornado destroyed the entire